Okay, welcome to the Village of Lake Bluff Joint Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals regular meeting on May 20th, 2026. If we could have a call to order and a roll call, please.
Sure. Member Berry.
Present.
Member Danley.
Here.
Member Fisher.
Here.
Member Miller. Member Russell.
Here.
And Chair Peters.
Here.
And Member Toll is absent, but we have a quorum.
All right. Agenda item number 2, non-agenda items and visitors' public comment time. We allocate 15 minutes at this point during the meeting to address any issue or question that anybody from the citizenry would like to raise. We would like to allocate 3 or 4 minutes per issue, if there are any. Anyone out in the public that wishes to present? Anyone on? Yeah, virtually anything that might come into our domain.
I'm just curious to know what happened with the yacht club.
Yeah, so they have an approval from, both this body made a recommendation in the past to the village board, and more recently, the ABR approved the appearance of their building. So they're working on getting a permit and construction plans and all that, and making a decision on when to start. I think they're working with the Park District on, traffic and in those issues as far as trying to time their start, whether it's summer or fall and all that.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions or topics? Anything from the internet, Mr. Crook?
Nope, no one online.
All right. Agenda item number 3, consideration of the April 15, 2026 meeting minutes. I trust that everybody's had a chance to review them. Any proposed revisions or other changes?
I do, just at the bottom of page 1, I think somebody's confusing the two of us. Last paragraph on the first page, or on page 1, I think it was me who asked about helicopter operations.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
And I think one more place. On page 3, second paragraph down, members discussed neighborhood impact, and then the last question about garbage storage, I think that was me also, not member Danley.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Fisher. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have just one minor one on page 4, the second paragraph with the sentence that ends, the Lake Bluff facility will function as a Land Rover service center with authority for limited use car sales, but they do not intend new car sales. And I think what they actually said at this time, because then later in the meeting, we actually authorized the new car sales. So I think just adding the phrase "at this time" at the end of that sentence, paragraph 2,
Okay.
would
That
nail her down.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Any other changes or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Agenda item number 4. Mr. Crook, if you want to introduce that one, please.
Sure. So, for 117 East Washington Avenue, the request is for a variance to allow an undersized lot to be used in the same manner as conforming lots in that zoning district, meaning it would meet all the same, setback and floor area requirements as building on conforming lots. Our code requires undersized lots, well, first of all, it allows undersized lots to be used the same as conforming lots if they were never owned along with adjacent property. But if they have been owned along with adjacent property, then it would need a variance to be used for something like a new house.
Excuse me a second. Is that because the properties were combined into a single property and they would split them into a smaller property? And
No, it's never been, so the subdivision plat for this area was approved in 1895. The lots have never been changed. They've never been.
No, I understand that, but
together.
why would adjacent lots be different than non-adjacent owned lots? Why would it be different than?
Well,
What does the ownership have to do with it?
yeah, so what makes this situation unique and perhaps a little harder to understand compared to other times that this comes up is this has the unusual circumstance of it has historically always had two separate houses and been used as two separate properties. More often, this issue would come into play when you see, for example, on the maps and the attachments that, several lots to the west, there's, one house built on a 50-foot wide property, but that 50-foot wide property is two separate 25-foot wide lots, and the lot line runs right down the middle of the house, and the house is on the property, So in that case, this ordinance prevents somebody from potentially tearing that one house down and building two houses back in that situation.
Okay, so there is some rationale.
We've also seen other situations where someone has a house on a lot and owns the lot next door, has always used it for their yard, and, if they're undersized, they can't,
They don't want- they wanna
can't
build
just
on
sell it off and you build a separate house on it without
Okay.
coming here and asking for a variance.
That's a good explanation, thank you.
Uh-huh, sure. And that's really all the introduction I have.
Oh, thank you. Who will be testifying tonight, or who will be the petitioner? Okay, if you could stand and raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And please state your name for the record.
I am Tom Dish.
Okay,
I own lot 117, or the property at 117 East Washington. And prior to that, I had owned the property at 115 East Washington. I lived in 115 East Washington, and 117 was my neighbor who had passed, and I ended up buying the lot from, or the house from her family, and I rented it out. About 10 years ago, we had a severe cold streak, and the pipes in that house froze, and it became uninhabitable, and no one has lived in there for the last 10 years. And I now am in the process of trying to tear down what's there and build a house that's consistent with the other houses in the neighborhood. And in order to do that, I have to get permission to do that, because I've owned both of those lots. Had I not owned both of them, it would have been automatically grandfathered in, but, well, the rules are the rules. And so I'm here asking for a variance to allow us to tear down and rebuild, consistent with the existing neighborhood.
if you could just go briefly through the standards, please, just to make a record.
Sure.
Thank you.
Let me turn to those. Let's see here. Okay, well, its property is 117 East Washington. The PIN number is 122-110-7012. The current use is it's a house that is vacant and uninhabitable. I'm looking for what would be a variation from section 1082E3 of the Village Code, which would allow the demolition of the existing uninhabitable structure and the construction of a new single-family residence that would be consistent with the neighborhood at the same location, 117 East Washington. The property, it's a legally created lot of record measuring approximately 6,250 square feet, 50 by 125. The minimum standard lot size to build is 7,500 square feet, which is what causes it to be an undersized lot and requires the variance. We plan on building a house that would be consistent with what's in the neighborhood, and it's going to be used as a home just like it has been, for the previous years. I believe this is solely due to a technical requirement of the law that's been passed and is in existence for what Mr. Croak said was the prohibition of splitting properties and creating new homes on a willy-nilly basis. But this is just going to maintain what is already there. Let's see, what else can I tell you?
You wanted to go through
Is
the
there-
standards of variation?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's asking if you would go through the standards of variation, so the your responses to the unique physical condition that requires this
Oh.
variation.
The only thing is that the lot size is 6,250 square feet, whereas the required lot size is 7,500 square feet. Traditionally, if it was not, if I didn't own the lot if I hadn't owned the lot that was next to it, I would be grandfathered in with the right to build on it, but since I own that lot, the rules require me to get a variance, which is the reason that I'm petitioning now for permission.
Excuse me, can we just use what's in here?
Yeah, we could adopt and incorporate by reference
Yeah.
his submission also.
Oh, thank you.
And I think you gave us a lot of background information, which is very, very beneficial, so.
Thank you.
Anything else right now?
No, we plan on just building a conforming lot within the normal, a conforming house within the normal standards of the village.
All right.
What's the square footage on a house on this size lot?
So 40% is allowed,
Oh,
which would be
before.
2,500 square feet.
You intend to keep within the guidelines? I
Absolutely.
presume.
Any other comments or questions from the commissioners? Mr. Russell?
I have a comment.
Okay.
I can't imagine a situation like this where if there are two existing homes on two non-conforming lots, where we would not allow the person to replace an existing home. It's a completely different situation in the examples Mike outlined, where someone's trying to split off an undersized side yard and squeeze in an extra home. I think this 7,500 square foot minimum lot size in the R4 has probably been in the village for 100 years since the adoption of the rules. We've had several people over the years come before us asking to create undersized. The most recent one was on East Prospect and Moffett, where someone wanted to build two homes and create two undersized lots, and we turned them down, and that's been consistent. But in this case, where we have two homes, where there's no creation of additional density, my actual suggestion is that rather than granting a variation, that we recommend that there be a text amendment, because
Right.
if this comes forward in the future, I can't imagine this body recommending no. I don't know why we would. It just makes sense. I don't think there are too many conditions like this out there, but if someone would buy a home and then maybe buy the home next door for their children, and they're not aware, Mr. Dish, you probably weren't aware of this regulation.
No, I was surprised,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, well, the rules are the rules, so that is, we can go through the motions. But yes, I agree with you.
So
It should-
then in the future, if under this similar circumstances, someone wouldn't have to come forward, pay the fees, go through the time for something like this. So I'm sure the attorneys would craft the language better than I, but the general recommendation is that we add something to the effect to the code, that two adjoining non-conforming lots of record that are each already improved with a residential building are considered buildable lots regardless of ownership. Something to that effect. If that's my thought.
Makes sense.
So we can do both, recommend approval of this variation, for time, and then do a text amendment for the future.
Okay, because we can't change it because we didn't notice it as
Oh,
a
we
text.
don't have-
It would, right, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
We'd have to have a public hearing and all
All right.
that, so it would take a couple months.
Yeah,
probably
no sense
to get a
holding
text-
Mr. Dish up for something that doesn't appear to be controversial at all.
Right, yeah.
Thank
right.
you.
Mr. Dish, who's Julie Whitehead Dishworth?
That is the person that now owns the house at 115 East Washington. I sold that house
That's all right,
several years ago.
I see.
So I don't own both properties anymore anyways.
But you own the 117?
I own 117 and just want to turn it back into a livable house.
Mike, so can I just ask, so the fact that it's a 6250 square foot lot means that we would use the ratio on a 6250 square lot, it wouldn't be the minimum, it wouldn't jump up to the minimum 7,500, right?
That's right, it's
Okay.
40% of the actual.
Of the
lot area.
actual, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
totally fine with that.
And the petitioners were aware of that.
Yeah, that the floor area limit is 40% of the actual lot area.
Okay, that would be, as you think, you said 2,500 square feet?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. That is in line with what my expectation was 2,500 square feet.
Plus a bonus for a detached garage.
I'm sorry, if it's a detached garage.
There would be a bonus allowed for a detached garage in the rear yard also.
Oh, above the 2,500? Or that would?
Yeah,
the
above the
25
2,500,
Oh,
yes.
I thought the 2,500 would include the bonus to the space.
Not if you build the correct size two-car garage in the rear yard. You would be allowed, there's a bonus provision in our code
Okay,
that would allow you to build a two-car detached garage in the rear yard,
okay,
properly located.
okay. So it would be the detached garage plus 2,500 square feet for the house. That's what I understood. Okay,
Correct.
thank you. Thank you for the clarity.
Any other questions or comments from the commissioners? Not for me. Joe?
I was just curious about, I know the property that you used to own, the Whitehead, she has like an office space in the back, not a garage, but it's livable space, almost like an ADU, even though it's an office. Well, she has a sink in there, I think, and a few other things. I'm just wondering if this could fall into the category if he's newly built and has a smaller home, if he could consider the ADU or any extra bonuses with the detached garage.
Well, our ADU regulations require that to come here as a special use permit for approval. There's also, a lot of people think about doing a second floor in a garage, but our height limit really makes that too
Right.
low to be possible. So, other than that, maybe, if they came here for the special use permit and did it on the first floor, and maybe, I haven't seen that, but then they might not be the size that could qualify for the bonus for the detached garage. I'd have to look at that.
Right, just curious.
Good question.
Any other questions or comments from the commissioners? Anyone from the public? We'll have to swear you in, ma'am? Okay, if you can stand, or just raise your right hand.
Have her come up to the.
Yeah, you have to go up to the, yeah,
if you go to-
and then we'll swear you in, and then you can present. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. If you could state your name for the record?
My name is Terry DeBruin. I live at 667 Oak Avenue, which is a couple doors down from the home. I guess I'm just really concerned about the size of the home, and that it will be a single-family home. That's correct.
That's right, single-family home is
And
what's
will it
allowed.
be a one-floor house, two-floor house, three-floor house? It just, we don't want our neighborhood to change a whole lot.
Right, there's height requirements based on the lot width. I think it might be 30 feet or 32, but it generally doesn't allow a three-story house. Two-story is certainly a possibility, but there's a 2,500 square foot limit on the floor area for the lot.
Okay, so it won't be a monstrosity. And what about how spacing with the other homes? Like, I know that both the other homes are not far from those lines.
Yeah, they have a minimum 5-foot setback to the property line required, and then plus, whatever the other house has from their side of the property line.
Yeah, so this lot would be treated the same way as any other lot in the village where there is a tear down or a current vacant lot. It would have to follow all of the zoning regulations.
So,
Has to comply with, can't be bigger than so many square feet based on lot size, can't be higher based on lot width. It has to have setbacks required on both side yards, has to be built so many feet off the street. So Mr. Dish isn't asking for any relief from any of the normal building regulations,
Okay.
other than the buildability of the lot itself. So this home is going to have to comply with all other regulations, as would construction on any other lot in the village.
and how soon would this happen?
Well, if you could,
Sooner the better, but we're working on that
The other thing is, I believe there were some people that were living in the home for a while. When we first moved in, there were people there. I don't know, you said,
That was a,
Might have to,
longer,
yeah, thank you.
that's a longer story. I had a friend who was a handyman, whose daughter was a stage 4 cancer individual. The property was uninhabitable due to the frozen pipes. He was a handyman, and he said if I let him and his daughter move in there because they had lost their home, he would fix the pipes and move in there and live there so that they had a place to stay. And I did that and let him go in, and he tried to fix the pipes. He didn't do a very good job, but he made it livable for he and his daughter, so at least he had a place to live. And I didn't charge him any rent, and it just gave him a place where he could take care of his daughter. So I thought it would seem to me to be a fair thing to do, since the house was not being used, and this was a way for him to, find a place for he and his daughter to live, since they were about to be homeless and she was sick. So that was what we did with that, and that's why they lived there as they did, and they've moved out, gosh, more than a year ago now, and now we're looking at converting it, bringing it back to being a part of the community, because right now it's an empty house that is uninhabitable, and it's probably, it could be.
it was a mess when they moved out.
I know.
And a lot of the neighbors were upset.
I know, I had to clean it up. When he moved out, he was basically, you've seen the hoarder, all of the hoarder shows. He was a hoarder. Any of the projects he worked on, he brought whatever he could from whatever project he worked on and brought it. And literally, after he left, I had to clean it up, and it was not fun. But it's now completely empty. There's no more refuge or any other things that are there. It's just uninhabitable.
No, thank you, Mr. Dis. Any other questions, comments from the panel?
Thank you for explaining.
Oh, my pleasure.
All right. Is there a petition, or is there a motion, please?
I move to recommend approval of the requested relief in the form of the attached approval order.
Thank you, Mr. Russell.
second.
Any further discussion? And we'll close the public hearing. Could we have a vote, please?
Sure. Member Russell,
Aye.
Member Miller,
Aye.
Member Fisher,
Aye.
Member Danley,
I,
Member Barry,
Yes.
and Chair Peters.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Thank you.
gotta be better than what's there now.
Next steps, Mr. Croak?
So we'll have it on, that's a recommendation to the village board, and we'll have it on the village board meeting next Wednesday, the 27th.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you. All right. Agenda item number 5, I guess.
Yeah, staff report, we have hired somebody for Clara's position, a gentleman named Max Morgan with a strong planning background, recently worked for Schiller Park, came from Colorado before that, so he'll be here next month. He'll be starting next week, so you'll see him next month.
You're excited.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Well, thank you for all the great support you provided to the committee or commission over the last almost 6 months, I guess. So we really
Thank you.
appreciate it. And now you
Sure.
can get back to a more regular but still busy schedule.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Mr. Croker.
sure, you're welcome.
Mike, does that mean you won't be doing this anymore?
That's right, the new person will be staffing, Max will be here staffing.
It's more new for me than anybody else here.
Yeah, right. So I'll still be doing ABR, but not PCZBA.
Okay.
Good. Agenda item number 6, Commissioners Report. Any questions or comments for Mr. Croak?
Just a point of clarification then in regard to the discussion about a proposed text amendment. Do we need any type of unapproved recording of what appears to be a agreement of the entire body to move forward with the text
That's a
amendment?
good question. Should they,
Nope, you can
No.
just provide direction and we can prepare a text amendment,
Yeah.
and then we'll notice it up and have a public hearing on it.
yeah, okay.
And we can do that at whatever schedule you guys are prepared for. If we want to do it for the next meeting, we can have it done by then.
Okay, sounds good. I'll talk to Drew about the
Okay,
schedule.
sounds good.
Talk to Drew and Max about the schedule.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense to me. Any other thoughts or questions?
Are there other properties currently in that same situation in town where co-owners side by side, the same owner side by side?
Well, one person that this would affect is the owner of 115 East Washington who bought it because she didn't get a variation tonight, only Tom Dish at 117 did. So she would certainly be, relieved of her.
Even though she wasn't ever the owner of both properties, that would impact her too?
Right, yeah, because.
Oh,
both
that's awful.
properties
Yeah.
were together. Yeah, right,
Just if there was ever shared ownership period.
Oh,
since
ever?
1880, yeah.
right, yeah. Well, since they became non-conforming, whatever date that was, we don't even really know.
But you don't,
Early 20th century sometime.
So I have a village
So, but I
engineer.
don't know of any others, other than that. So we know of one person.
We don't
that
know,
would
could be out
affected by
there
this.
somewhere, yeah.
Well, in that block, there's
Somewhere
plenty
deep
of,
in the
there
chain
are.
of title.
The one person would probably be very grateful if she knew what was going on.
I have a question about the deep tunnel project that we're doing. Is it done? Or is it, do they have to connect it further north, further west?
So the deep tunnel project coming from here to the
Yeah.
viaduct, I think they've got the pipe all in for the phases they were doing, but they've got
There's
more
more
phases to
phases,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, it says more distant.
Yeah.
I was curious. Everybody been down that Lillian Dell? It's kind of cool. And we did it last weekend. It's much easier going down to the lake
Is it?
on the new, it's not paved, but it's all stone and it's flat. Well, it's inclined, but it's flat. And it takes you right down to the lake. It's a nice little walk.
yeah, this is the year of big projects around here, right?
It
Green
is.
Bay and 176 and
Right, it is, yeah, for sure.
traffic everywhere.
How about the traffic with electric bikes? What's happening with regulations, rules, policy, anything?
So I think they decided that the police department should be strict on their enforcement of the electric bike laws. So I think that's their policy and what they're doing.
And there hasn't been any movement at the state level.
Okay.
I know there's several things being considered, but nothing's been adopted. But session's over next week, so things get slipped in. We'll see.
How's the agenda look next month, Mr. Cook?
I think we have two variations on the schedule,
Okay.
so not too bad.
Like I know either last meeting or the meeting before, it was a general recommendation of the body that the village board become somewhat proactive in investigating and expressing some concern over the state's desire to take control of certain aspects of local zoning regulations. Did the board discuss that publicly, or?
I know Drew and Regis have been very active in talking to people about that with our state legislators. And
So
that
expressing
type of thing.
concern
So I
with
know they're
the way
involved
it's
in that,
drafted.
but I don't know the details of.
Okay, so something's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
That was started with the discussion about mandatory parking regulations, right?
Right.
Wasn't, that was,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Or do we go to agenda item number 7, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Nice to have a shorter meeting in the spring.
That's the shortest one I've had in a long time.